All right, all right, all right. We got white. Let's do this. I really need a better opening repertoire. It's because I don't play the game very often, and so I don't have time to try out stuff that I don't know is safe. Ooh, okay. This is the first time I've gotten e6 played against me, I think. So I'm excited. I'm very excited about this. Okay. How do we win? How do we exploit the position? Um, Question is there a way we're gonna block the diag? We don't want any time travel shenanigans happening. Okay, so now the question is if we can f7 sec anyway, because we need to push f4 on turn 4 or f3 on turn 5, right? So can we f7 sec our opponent? I think maybe. I mean, it seems silly, like to fish for it quite this hard. You know what I mean? Um, but it should be possible, in theory, right? Because if this happens, then I mean the bishop is defending the knight anyway, so he can't bring his queen in and do shenanigans. Next turn we can play f4. Am I crazy? I mean, we have to close this diagonal. We want to not lose, right? Let's be sensible. Let's not go too nuts. Let's not lose the game. But now, if we move this knight here, then on t5, I'm pretty sure that we can push f3. And I don't know if our opponent can necessarily, can punish it. Probably this is the move. And then if kicks, we just f3 and then we wait and then we sack. We're going to go for it. We're going to go for it. Could have gone for the super secret line. That's as black in this position, Andre. Don't tell anybody. That I sort of refuted. That we sort of refuted. Please, come on. Let's share some credit here. You did get got by it. Granted, I lost that game because I misplayed. So actually, you did win. I fucked up. But yeah. I don't think anyone still knows about that line. I think when Romad was playing one of his games, he thought he knew the line. He was like, this must be what Andre and Samet were talking about, but he was wrong. He was super wrong. This is a little bit silly. It's a little bit silly here to be doing what I'm actually doing. But it's fun as hell. Yeah, he was wrong. He didn't even know. That was a super interesting game, by the way. I really want to... I studied those games, but on the weekends, my brain's just really not... It didn't even help. I'm not trying any of that stuff out right now. Yeah, especially that game 2, was it? Where all the crazy nonsense happened on the... Who was black? I think he was black. And crazy nonsense happened on the queen side. Yeah. I gotta go back and rewatch that game. So this happens. So if we do this, then we can f7 sec next turn. If I'm not mistaken. So we're just gonna go for it, man. we're gonna go for it. Listen, it's a rated game, all right? Plus if takes, I'm quite happy to take here anyway, I'd do this. I'd do this in a normal game. What he has to do is throw a piece so that he can check next turn. Except then I can check next turn. I think we got an f7 sec off. I'm not proud of this game, but I am happy with it. We'll see what happens here. Oh man. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I think you had to play knight g4 here, right? Am I wrong about this? I mean, this is certainly one way to refute the e6 openings. The thing with not playing knight f6 first is that you have to deal with this line on the... Yeah, because now he can't check us, right? And so we do something like this, and now this knight is totally immobile. We can't check him, but he can't check us. If you had done something like knight g4 here or whatever, then we had this knight checks the king here, and then we get the time travel. So, you know, what's important in playing these games out is like, I mean, come on. Like the reason that everyone plays knight f3, knight f6 is so that you avoid, you know, the bishop travels onto f7 or f2 respectively. And if you don't do that, then you open yourself up to this, right? So, you know, it's not like just because it's like a different opening doesn't mean, you know, that I suddenly can't, you know, it still has to follow the rules of like defending against the f7 sec. I like how I'm rationalizing this to myself just so I don't get shit on by stream. I mean, I don't know, you know, I know that sentiments against f7 are generally... He doesn't even know, does he? This is also a crazy opening. This is really interesting. After knight g5, yeah, I think I had to play knight g4, and instead of b5, I play h6 in this position as black. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think I saw you play h5 once, and it didn't work out very well. I think that was against Trimmer. Did I miss the window? Oh, I selected the wrong bishop. Yeah, that'll do it. Okay, f7. Here we go. Yeah, this certainly happened. You gotta be careful if you play e6, man. It's playable. I think e6 is playable for black. Yeah, the b5 move is interesting. All right, so here we do the classic f7 shenanigans, right? This absurd knight h3 move, followed by knight g5 check. No matter what happens, probably after this knight move. And then after, you know, moves back, we play a cheeky c3, followed by queen b3 soft mate. Andre says, so after knight g5, knight g4, f3, knight f3, king takes f2, h takes g5. Okay, so where do we play? So after knight g5, knight g4, f3, knight f3. How does knight f3 happen? Maybe you mean knight e3. So after f3, knight e3. Wait, what? Oh, f3, knight f2. Okay, so after f3, knight f2. So we have knight g5, knight g4. And then after f3, we have knight f2, which prevents the sack from happening. And then king takes h2, h takes g5. Ah, that seems pretty convincing. If I saw the knight move here, yeah, probably you know, we abort. We probably just kick this knight and then we play the game normally because, yeah, that line is pretty good. And then maybe takes here immediately is actually like viable? Question mark. Yeah, because if h6 instead of b5, yeah, I agree. Andre's got it all figured out, man. Yeah, so if instead of b5 here we get h6, then immediately after knight g5 we have knight g4, and then after f3 there's knight f2, which prevents the time travel and threatens to take the queen. So we have king takes f2, and then you get the knight back, you know, and then probably you're sitting reasonably pretty. You got a half open h file. What happened here? Okay, so now we do the check. Tra-la-la. And then let's move the correct pawn. So here we've got queen b3 mate, soft mate. No h6 played. Knight f2 is a knight sack. Yeah, with no if you don't play h6, like here he still could have prevented the travel, which is you know, sacking a knight is better than losing the game, right? I think everyone will agree. What did the b5 do? What did the b5 do? What is the idea here with b5? Can someone help me out? Yeah, what are we playing for? I don't really know. I mean, this you know, this is somewhat unfortunate for our opponent, but we'll give him a rematch where we're black. We will after this game. I'm allergic to f7 sacks. It's like people who are allergic to cats, but you know, have cats anyway. Like my girlfriend, except she's not allergic to cats. I am, but you know, I just gotta live with it. I'm allergic to F7 sex, but I can't resist. Ooh, do we have something here? Oh, the Jurassic Rook. Yes, of course. Oh man, but I don't think there's a way that this does anything, right? Unfortunately. Yeah, here we just probably do this, threatening to take here, or threatening to put our bishop out here, and then he can't prevent the, yeah. I think e3 is the play after this. Am I right about that? Maybe. Yeah, because if he plays something like g3, I mean, not only is it a waste of time, he might play rook somewhere else, but then we have the bishop move, or in fact the queen move. We're probably just queen here works just fine. It's really hard to play out of this position, especially if you haven't like prepped yourself for it here. It is cool that the rook move. We're just gonna go with our gut here, and if our opponent can get out of this, then we're happy. We're happy for him. Even if we're the ones playing it, we hate f7. We hate to see f7 work. You know what I mean? So it's all good. Yeah, if he gets out of this one, he earned it. Like, there's nothing that we can say about it. Yeah. Additionally, h6 prevents bishop g5. Right, which is why I even started playing h6. Ah, okay, yeah. The bishop g5, prepping the time travel to g7. I'm with you. I'm with you. Yeah, well. Okay. Wow, wait, what? Sure. We just take here. We just take here. Oh, we actually checked the king down here, which I didn't even see. Which I didn't even see. But it makes perfect sense. I wasn't even paying attention to that, but we got there. GG. GG, mage. Is he just called mage now? On the Discord? Let's check our DMs to see if he's just called mage now. Is that how it works? Does it update? He's got the same profile picture that Majo Chicken did. I can't find mage. That was embarrassing. I knew how to defend against that too. Yeah, it happens, man. It's like the only weakness, the only like way to exploit the e6 opening, right, is the bishop travel. We did feel, we did feel a little dirty going for the f7, but I mean, if it's open to us, we've got to do it. Andre explained that there's a pretty decent line here, where instead of b5, you play h6. So that after knight g5, you have knight g4. And then if f3 next to prepare the time travel, you can just put this knight right here to block. And then after the king takes, then you get the knight back, and it looks pretty good for black. Yeah, so this is how it shook out. It's completely blanked on why you pushed f3. I know. Yeah, it was this. People forget about this one, man. They forget about it because everybody and their mother starts knight f3, knight f6, right? And if you don't, this is why. Yeah, and so if you don't, then you still have to. It doesn't like absolve you of the responsibility to, prevent this from happening. So, yeah, GG, GG, man. Yeah, I should have brought the knight out. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's hard to if you blank on it. I think a lot of people blank on this. The bishop travel, I get so many people with this. And I always think it's like, oh, they're like planning 3 steps ahead or whatever. But people just forget because like nobody does this. Which is crazy because this is the reason that we play knight f3, knight f6 anyway. But let's play another one. Let's do a rematch. Also, are you mage now?